योगेश भाई, वसंत भाई किधर हैं?
ही इज ट्रैवलिंग, इतना मालूम है।
हाँ,
कल
he said that just
कोल्हापुर
now I called him.
कोल्हापुर में थे, कल कोल्हापुर में, उसके बाद
Okay, okay.
Sir, good evening, sir.
गुड इवनिंग जलील सर, गुड इवनिंग।
Namaste.
Good evening, good
Hema
evening.
madam, good evening. Hema madam, good evening. You are unmute. You have to unmute.
Good evening, good evening. So Neelam is traveling. Once Vasant comes, we can start, or Yogesh Bhatt is there anyway. Atanu Badra also said he will join. We'll have to start on time because we have this GUJARAT program.
वेलकम डॉक्टर शमी गो साहब।
Very
Bhai,
good evening,
namaste.
sir.
Good evening.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Namaste, sir.
Dr.
Namaste, ji.
Samir, Dr. Samir,
Yes, madam.
please report the activity once you start.
It is live streaming is already started, ma'am, on
Okay,
YouTube.
okay, right.
And I shared the link to you already.
Good evening.
Good evening,
मनीष
Snehal.
भाई रीनेम कर दो। ધીરેન ભાઈ કેમ છો?
કેમ છો યોગેશભાઈ? એકદમ ફાઇન.
એકદમ યંગ લાગો છો.
અરે તમારા જેવું લઈ નહીં આવે.
Dhiren sir, good evening.
ગુડ ઇવનિંગ.
Good evening, good evening.
Salil bhai, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, fine, fine.
Great.
Dr. Arya joined?
Yeah, madam.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, good
Welcome,
evening,
welcome,
sir.
Snehal
Video on कर दीजिए sir. We'll start the meeting.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
एक बार वसंत भाई को फिर कॉल कीजिए सर।
गीता बंसल मैडम तो आ गए, गीता पाटिल मैडम कहाँ है?
Yeah, we have another 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, we'll start.
Geeta madam तो है, बंसल मैडम है।
I spoke to both of them, Sushma ji and Geeta. Both of them will join.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Arti.
Welcome, Asha madam.
ഫ്ലോറക്സിൽ മൗത്ത് വാഷ് ഇല്ലേ ചെറുത്, ചെറിയൊരു കോട്ടന്റെ ഇതും.
Welcome, Kotwal sir.
Hi.
You all.
Yogesh bhai, can we start the meeting?
Yeah, madam. Yeah,
What
it is
should
your
we do?
program. Please start.
Well, Vasant bhai is trying to enter the meeting. We'll wait for 1 minute and start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Jogesh ji, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Sima Bindu.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Sukant sir,
I'm
good evening.
traveling.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Yes,
evening.
sir. Thank you for joining, sir.
And it is dark. Please don't mind.
So, कोई बात नहीं sir.
You are
Video off
visible,
कर दो.
sir. Even in the darkness.
It may be dark around, but
You
we
are, you
see
are
a
signing.
bright
Even
face.
though sir, you are signing.
Sir, it may be dark around, but we see a bright face.
Yeah.
MKC,
Thank
sir.
you, MKC.
Welcome, Srisalam.
Your words are always inspiring, MKC.
Namaskaram, madam. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste,
to all.
namaste.
Namaste, Sri Sailam ji.
Namaste, namaste.
निजामाबाद कैसा है?
सुपर सर.
सुपर.
आप लोग नहीं आ रहे?
आप बुलाया कब?
Good evening.
नमस्ते सर. जलील सर.
Namaste.
नमस्ते.
Sri Sailam.
हाँ सर, नमस्ते.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Shibu, I request all to kindly put your videos on. And Shibu, you are traveling. Actually, I wanted you to help Shamik to conduct the session.
Okay, madam.
Your EB in charge.
Hi, good evening. I'm UNICEF, Dr. Ali.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Syed Ali,
Yeah,
and
Dr.
thank you for
Syed Ali
joining
Ube.
on behalf of UNICEF. We
Yeah,
heartily welcome you.
welcome back, Dr. Ube.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's 8:45. Sir, MKC
Welcome,
Nair
Vijay
sir,
sir.
can we start the meeting, sir?
Good evening.
Syed, your presence have added little more glamour to the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Specially invited, sir.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
So I request Dr. Arya. Good evening. We'll be starting the meeting.
Madam,
I request Samir sir to keep.
Madam, Dr. Anjalika will start and then hand over the mic to the Prakash sir.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Evening, everyone. Good evening, respected dignitaries, seniors, colleagues, and friends. I welcome you all on behalf of Academy of Pediatrics Gujarat for today's inaugural episode of AOPG Expert Connect in association with Gujarat Adolescent Health Academy. But before we start the proceedings for the webinar series, it is my pleasure to announce the launch of a very unique initiative of IAP Adolescent Health Academy, that is Wave 18. So before that, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the dignitaries of Central IAP, IAP AHA, AOP Gujarat, and Gujarat AHA, as well as UNICEF, who have spared their time to grace this wonderful occasion. So now for the launch of the Wave 18 initiative, I would like to welcome the Secretary of Central AHA, Dr. Prakash Veer Arya. We will begin our Expert Connect panel discussion soon after this launch. So over to you, sir, Dr. Prakash, sir.
Very good evening. I welcome to all dignitaries present in this webinar. Dr. From CIAP, President Center AHA, and our patron, respected Dr. MKC Nair sir, Dr. Yogesh Parikh sir, Dr. JC Garg sir, Dr. Jalil Ahmad, Dr. Prashant Sabut sir, and all other, and Dr. Hima Bindu madam, Dr. Geeta Patil madam, in this launch activity of Center AHA. Now I welcome. Now I request Dr. Hima Bindu madam for her remark.
Thank you, Dr. Arya sir. Thank you. Yes, on behalf of Central AHA, I'm really humbled to celebrate, to be on the Silver Jubilee year of 2020. So can we mute everybody, please? Yeah. So on behalf of Central AHA, I'm really blessed and honored and humbled to be the chairperson of AHA during its Silver Jubilee year in 2025. So along with our 3,700 members, one of the largest sub-chapters of IAP, we proudly we have announced many action plans this year. And one of the very unique activity which we are launching today is the AHA Youth Forum. So Adolescent Health Academy has been working for adolescent health for last 25 years. It was founded many of our Dr. MKC Nair sir, Dr. Swati Bhavik madam, Dr. Duteja sir, CP Bansal sir, and many chairpersons have brought a legacy and lifted the level of AHA to such a level that is so difficult for us to catch up. But myself and our past chairperson, Dr. Geeta Patil, and the chairperson-elect, Dr. Sushma Desai, promise that we will continue the legacy of AHA and make it more, maybe we'll do something more beyond what has already been achieved. So one of this uniqueness is today, the launch of this Wave 18. Wave is the synonym for well adolescent, which is vibrant and empowered. And 18 is that 18 age, the young people just look, adolescents wait for this when they become 18. So that is the time they become legally, have rights for driving, and legal rights are there, and even voting rights are there. So they just, they celebrate the 18th year. So we thought, let us celebrate this Wave 18 and create, this is done, we are trying to do a campaign, Catch 25 campaign, and that also was released during Pedicon in Hyderabad when we took over as executive board, and we had some 25 catchy messages, and we want to create some campaign around this 25 messages. So this month on 18, we picked up 2 important messages, since January was a road safety month and vaccination the Cancer Prevention Month. So we picked up 2 messages on road safety and vaccination, and we have created some awareness programs around this. And who has created this? It is the youth themselves. So we have just started a AHA Youth Forum where young youth, I mean, we are non-medical, medical, young people between 16 to 24 years are coming together. So they have made a logo, they have made the flyer, they have made the slides, and then they are going out. And today, many of our young pediatric ambassadors are actually joining hands with them, and they are gone into the schools, colleges, communities, and done some awareness activities throughout the country. It is a very small beginning. So we want our central IIP leadership to launch this program for us. So, and all our past chairpersons, our guru, Dr. M.K.C. Nair sir, with his blessings, and all our past chairpersons' blessings, and all the seniors and colleagues of IAPHA, we would like to do this activity as a way, in a wave form, every month on February 8, on 18th of every month, which we are calling as Youth Wellness Day. For this, we have taken Dr. Shibu will be the in charge from our EB, and Dr. Samir Shah is also in charge for this program. He'll be helping the youngsters identified as conveners, Dr. Sri Sailam, Dr. Sangeeta Lodha, and many coordinators. Dr. Anita is here, Dr. Shilpi Siddhanta, Dr. Amol Pawar, Dr. Pratik, we have Shishir Agarwal, and we have picked up Meghna Sultania, young pediatric ambassadors, AHNs who are very interested. So we have picked up few people as coordinators and will widen this group soon. So this is a initiative just for the briefly which we want to explain. Now I request all of you to bless this program today so that we can really go in a large, big way to see this youth empowerment happen. So the theme of this year is also Empower UR for AHA. Thank you once again. I welcome each one of you. Dr. M.K.C. Nair sir, thank you for sparing your valuable time. I welcome our President, Dr. Vasant Kalatkar. He's on the way. He may join anytime. He has some signal issue. I welcome Dr. Yogesh Parekh sir, Secretary of IAP. Welcome Dr. Atanu Bhadra sir. Welcome all the vice presidents of all the zones who I personally invited. I also would like to acknowledge the presence of UNICEF Dr. Head of, who's dealing with adolescent part, Dr. Syed Hubi Ali. Thank you for joining, because this program is, we are technically partnering with UNICEF. So they had, Dr. Vivek Singh was also with us in Hyderabad when we released the Empower Yuva, Youth Wellness, the flyer and the program. So Wave 18 is part of it. So thank you for your presence, Ali, and we look forward for a long collaboration with you. So I welcome Dr. Sukanta sir and all others on the dais here on the online platform. Over to the Shamil for taking questions from each one of us. Thank you.
A very, very good evening, and this is a landmark day in the history of the Adolescent Health Academy of the IAP. As our chairperson has promised right at the beginning of the year, we are launching a few new initiatives, and one of the stellar ones, which is already kicked off today. I think so, ma'am, we've had multiple programs all over the country, wherein our young pediatric ambassadors, that is active members of the AHA, have reached out to schools and have not only displayed our logo and our banners, but they've also taken sessions on road safety and on adolescent immunization. So we seek the blessings today over here of all the dignitaries whom Dr. Hima Bindu Singh just now mentioned. And we are looking forward to continued support, both material, moral, and participative support from everyone. Please do join in, because these youth, they have prepared all the material themselves. And I'm sure once you go through it, you will yourself feel very encouraged to take it to the grassroots. So I will request, once Dr. Kalatkar joins us, he will declare the module open, but we seek the blessings from Dr. M.K.C. Nair, Dr. Yogesh Parekh, Dr. Atanu Bhadra. We also seek the blessings of our chairperson, Dr. Hima Bindu Singh. Ma'am, you have started this, but I'm sure in the coming years, your presence will be felt in the continuation of the program. Dr. Shushma Desai and Dr. Geeta Patil will be partners and the future chairpersons and secretaries also will be partners in keeping this program alive. There are many, many seniors over here whose blessings we are seeking. It's wonderful to see almost 70 plus participants in this launch program. We are extremely grateful to everyone, especially Dr. Samisha, Dr. Sangeeta Lodha, and may I also hereby call upon the UNICEF representatives, Dr. Syed Hubbe Ali, to say a few words before Dr. Khalatkar joins us.
Sir, can we start with the lamp lighting first?
Yes, yes. Dr. Atanu, welcome you. Thank you for joining. So
we can start the program with the lamp lighting and followed by the speech, right, ma'am?
yes, yes. Invoking the blessings of the goddess. The goddess is very important. Please.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Yes, Samik sir.
Welcome, Dr. Preeti ji, Vice President, South Zone.
This feels so good. I mean, almost everyone has joined in today. So I will request from UNICEF, Dr. Syed Ali Bey, who has just joined us. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Salima, Dr. Salima Bhatia from UNICEF, who has been such a guiding person and such an encouragement for all our efforts this year. Can I request Dr. Syed Ali to kindly say a few words?
Thank you, sir, for this invitation and the opportunity. Dr. Hema Bindu, Dr. Vasant sir, Dr. Yogesh Bhai, Atanu, all the dignitaries of IAP members who have joined today, and my colleague Salima from UNICEF. First of all, thank you for this opportunity and apologies. I could not join in the Hyderabad meeting because of some conflicting similar priorities. But I think this initiative, madam, is one of the most important initiative because if you see the recent document released by the Ministry of Home Affairs, the cause of death after 1 year of age, then the unintentional injuries becomes the major cause of death, particularly for all the age groups after 1 year of age till 29 years of age. And the recent paper released by Dr. Rakhi Randona and Public Health Foundation of India, it says that between 15 to 19 years and up to 24 years, the major cause of death for boys is the road safety. And for the girls, the major cause of death in India is coming to be suicides. And then followed by road safety, and there road safety for boys first, followed by suicide. So it's a very good initiative of the Indian Academy of Pediatrics to have a dedicated adolescent wing. And congratulations to you, madam, on already having a sessions on road safety and the vaccination to kickstart your tenure as a chairperson for the AHA wing. So this step is very much welcome, madam. And just to give you a few insights what UNICEF is doing so that we can also collaborate on many of the areas which I could understand from your speech are overlapping with UNICEF. So madam, for us, adolescent health is one of the priorities in UNICEF. We have a dedicated department for adolescent health called Generation Unlimited. In India, it is called as YUVA. So we as health persons, we are focusing on 5-6 key issues, one of which is road safety. Another issue is the mental health. And now this year, we are also working for prevention of the teenage pregnancies in few selected states where the issue is more. And for the G20 event, madam, we have conducted 6 rounds of youth consultations on these thematic areas as well as on climate change, on NCDs and other few of the areas which are pertinent for the adolescent health and well-being. Recently with IAP under chairpersonship of Yogesh Parikh sir, Dr. Baswa Raja, we did 4 rounds of HPV vaccination initiative, which is now upcoming. We are working with the Ministry of Health for the launch, which is tentatively scheduled in the month of May or June this year. So we'll also be working with you as the army of the pediatricians, because your role in the HPV rollout will really help the Ministry of Health, and you are already with us on these various initiatives, madam. Few other things. You might be aware, menstrual hygiene management, we are talking since decades in the country, but till date, the country was not having any standardized module on MHM. Now, UNICEF, different sections, we have worked together along with WHO and UNFPA, and Ministry has now endorsed a dedicated module on MHM, which will be rolling in few states. So we'll be happy to collaborate with you on the issue of menstrual hygiene management. We also supported the Ministry for Development of a policy. There was no policy on MHM till date. It's a chaos if you understand the government system. In some states, health is procuring the pads, some states education is procuring and nothing. So only 58% is reaching the children and adolescents. So with the policy, it's the government's commitment to reach each and every adolescent girl first in the first phase in schools, and in the second phase also out of schools. But this will require a lot of awareness generation and partner support from the IAP, from Foxy, and everybody of us working in this field. And finally, madam, with lots of advocacy, comprehensive sexuality education is now finally added to the new education curriculum. We have been working with UNESCO and NCERT to get this inculcated into the new national curriculum framework for secondary education. But the capacity of the teachers is lacking in this. We are working with UNESCO and the Ministry of Health to develop some training facilitators guide on comprehensive sexuality education, so that teachers are confident for speaking these subjects in front of the students. So definitely, madam, we'll be happy to collaborate with you. Madam, in India, we have identified 10 young people, because in such forums, if we are talking about youth, without youth does not make sense. We should have the youth. We have trained 10 youth for 5 days as youth champions. Now they are back in the country. We have given them some assignments. So out of these 10, there are 9 youths who have taken some children has taken the topic of mental health. Some has taken comprehensive sexuality, some have taken road safety, some have taken climate change, and they are doing these cascade trainings in their own areas. Some have taken schools where they will be doing the sessions, some have taken their own societies, some have taken the peer groups. So we wanted to use them as champions in all the platforms. I had a discussion with the Adolescent Deputy Commissioner, Ministry of Health. So once this first round is over, we'll be getting them to the Ministry of Health for some motivation, felicitation, and so on. So I would request, because with our YUVA, madam, we already have a list of 2 million youths and adolescents. So together with AHA and UNICEF, we can have a series of webinar on 18th of every month, madam, where we have like youths and adolescents, and we take one pertinent topic as per your choice, and which is also coinciding with the UNICEF 5-6 areas, so that along with our webinars, we also build some capacity, one session or a panel, something where our youth of India can also benefit and champion them with the other youths. With these words, I once again thank you, madam, for this opportunity. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. I just want to respond that AHA is into all the priority areas which you said. Most of them, 99%, we are with you. So this year we are focusing on comprehensive sexuality education. We are also working with the youth, and in all our webinars, youth are coming and joining. And you can, Dr. Vivek has seen about Usmania. No, we had a lot of youth in our rolling out of a Well Youth Initiative program. So mental health is also a priority, sexual health. So we have similar, I think, priorities, and we have a module for teachers. Teach module developed by AHA. So I think we can all come together, because there's a lot of resources with us in AHA. We have a lot of expertise amongst our organization. We shall share and work together. And we look forward for a long collaborative effort.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. Shamik.
Yes, ma'am. Has Dr. Khalatkar joined?
We can not yet. I think we can. The central Dr. MKC Nair sir, along with Yogesh Parikh sir, can.
Yeah. Ma'am, can you continue? I'll have to leave, ma'am, for another meeting, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I request Dr. Shamik to please.
Box কোথায় লেখা হলো?
I request Dr. Shamik, Dr. Shamir Shah, to please launch our, inaugurate our, launch our logo. Sir, I request Dr. MKC Nair, sir, to please announce, along with Yogesh Parekh, sir, who is and Atanu Bhadra, the central IAP leadership, to please declare our logo and our flyer open for continuing these activities throughout this year. Sir, your
Good evening.
blessings and please declare this open, sir. Dr. MKC Nair, sir.
Good evening, friends. As a person who started the Adolescent chapter 25 years ago, along with Dr. Swati Bhave, I have great pleasure to see how the chapter has grown. From adolescent, we are also gone into youth, the young adults. That's a great achievement. And on this occasion, where we are including the youth into the program, mainstay of the program, I have great pleasure in releasing the logo on behalf of the Academy. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have the release of the logo?
Yogesh sir.
Yeah,
Yogesh,
yeah.
sir.
Please,
Can we request you
we
to
declared
kindly-
the release of the logo of the AHA, this program.
We declare
Wave
it open.
18, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Wave 18 logo. And let us clap for others.
Youth
So
Forum.
this logo was created by the youth of AHA Youth Forum. So the Wave, and you can see some adolescents are in distress, some are come successful in the Wave. And WAVE is a short acronym for Well Adolescent, Vibrant and Empowered. So on the eve of the Youth Wellness Day today, so IAPHA proudly announces its launch of the WAVE 18 initiative. Thank you. Dr. Yogesh Bhai and Dr. Atanu Bhadra, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Atanu Bhadra, sir.
Excellent, madam. Logo is created by the adolescent.
ஒன்னும் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்காது கைதா மாரியம்மாள் இருக்கும் அந்த புது பொண்ணு கூட ஓரளவுக்கு அது என்ட்ரி எல்லாம் போடுது முடிஞ்சாவா இல்லைன்னா கூட பாத்துக்கோ
Beautifully designed logo, beautifully designed, and it's vibrant.
Logo reflects the waves and the adolescent together at 18 also. So it give the benchmark the whatever the your thoughts and the process.
Thank
Madam,
you.
can we release the flyer also?
Yes, yes, please.
Amir Shah sir, QR code also release करिए.
QR code बाद में.
So you can explain this, Dr. Samir, that
Yes, sir.
IAPHA action plan, the launch of the Empower You program. You can please explain this flyer, what it has.
Right. So, dear friends, very good evening, and it's we all are really happy that we are able to launch this IAPAHA action plan of the Wave 2018. That's a Empower You program on the Youth Wellness Day. What we had officially announced on the 18th of the every month, and in this February 18th, we officially launching this Wave 18 program as a part of the Empower You project. Our project is mainly focusing on the activity that will be done by the youth, for the youth, and with the youth, along with the mainly fostering by the young adult pediatricians who are working in the field of the adolescent, with the supervision of the senior pediatricians like the Dr. MKC Nair sir and Dr. CP Bansal sir and others, which their fostering effect, we will do all the different activity every monthly. And this year, this month in February, we mainly focus on the road safety and vaccination. We plan to make a youth forum of the adolescent and young adult across the country, and if possible, across the world also. With this, the QR code is there. Anybody can just scan this QR code, and then they become just fill the Google form, and then they become the member of our youth forum family. And we mainly focusing to empower them to do the activity as a peer educator rather than the activity done by our pediatricians, because we already having doing that work since long. So this is the in short about the IAP action plan of this Wave 18. I hand over the mic to again to Dr. Hima Bindu madam.
Thank you, Samir ji. Sir, Dr. Yogesh Bhai, blessings. Thank you for your blessings. Dr. Atanu Bhai, thank you for your blessings. Now I request the youth are there. Few of the youth are also here. I want to acknowledge the presence of the young people. They have put their videos off, but there's Sprujuna. She was one who was very much, involved in the logo preparation. I would like to acknowledge her contribution, Dr. Sprujuna, and Sachetan. Sachetan is the one who has done the videos, and then we also have Dr. Amruta today, who's joined. She'll be there in a webinar, in the dermatology webinar, which is coming on Friday. So we have this youth, they have been sitting day and night with us. They have interacted with us and done this, even the slides, the PPTs, and these were done under us, with them, by them. Now I request Dr. Sri Sailam and Dr. Sangeeta to say a few words. They are the conveners for this program, and just few words.
Madam, before that, don't forget to give a certificate to all these people
Yes,
who
sir.
have done.
Yes,
Give
sir.
a proper certificate.
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
will be
sir.
useful.
Rujana, you are here. We also sent an invite to them, but so
Okay.
Dr. Sri
Namaste, madam.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
experience so far. Yes.
Yeah. Namaste to all the dignitaries to the August gathering. I must acknowledge and be thankful to Dr. Himabindu madam. We were closely associated with Empowering Yuva very long time back. And we have got once again an opportunity, a golden opportunity to launch this program today. And this Wave 18 is not just a program, it's a revolution. It is an initiative that empowers adolescents and youth to become the charge makers of tomorrow. We believe that the traditional teaching student model is no longer enough. It's time to break the free from the routine and create a wave of transformation. So that's why the Wave 18 has come. Wave 18 is more than just a program. It's a movement. It's about harnessing the energy of the youth, their creativity and passion of youth to drive positive change for themselves. Through Wave 18, we will provide a platform for all the adolescents and youth to develop essential life skills, build confidence, and become active citizens. Our mission today is to create a ripple effect of empowerment, inspiring young people to take ownership of their future and become the leaders what we need tomorrow.
Thank you.
So let us ride this wave of change together and unlock the full potential of our youth, the Yuva Shakti.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I
Thank
feel
you.
great to be a part.
Thank you. One word from Dr. Sangeeta Lodha, then we go
It's
back
really
to our elders.
amazing. Program was really amazing. The design of the program and the thought process behind this whole empower I think this is a totally different type of concept which AHA, Central AHA has brought in association with IP. And I just hats off to the dedication of the Yuva of our India who has just joined with us in Central AHA and IIP. Really amazing. Thank you and best wishes from me.
Thank you. Now I request.
Was I audible?
Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta. I request Dr. Preeti Galgali, Vice President South Zone, to please bless us. With another 5 minutes, we need to go to the Gujarat program.
Thank you so much, all the dignitaries on the dais. It's a pleasure to be here on the launch of this very innovative WAVE program. I wish the program all the very best, and I'm always there to pitch in and support you through this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Preeti D. We popularly call you Preeti D. Thank you. I request Dr. Prashant, Vice President East Zone, please bless us. Prashant. Prashant ji. He was there. Then we have Dr. Chawla, sir, our past chairperson. Thank you, sir, for joining. Unmute, sir.
Unmute, sir. Unmute, sir.
Unmute, sir. Mute me. Unmute.
I think we have Sprujana.
Sprujana, you are joined. Dr. Sprujana.
Vajan
We'd like to
to-
see you. Don't get, she entered the meeting. She saw there's so many doctors and she left. So again, I requested her.
She's there. Himabindu madam, she's there.
Sprujana?
She's there.
Where? Yeah, please
She's
put
there.
your
Our
video
videos
on.
also
You'd
on.
like to all
ma'am.
thank
Good evening,
you.
ma'am.
Yeah. We would all like to thank you. And we were just discussing about your contribution, the way you took lead to create the AHA Youth Forum. Thank you. A few words from you. We have all stalwarts here. You can see Dr. MKC Nair, who was our guru to all of us. And we can see all our vice presidents of Central IAP. You can, they're all very, big leaders in our IAP. We have secretary, we have our treasurer. So don't get intimidated. Feel free. Please address few words from your side. How are you feeling to be working with AHA?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for this. And very good evening to one and all, to all the dignitaries here. It's an honor and a privilege for me for being here. And I think I'm very much thankful for this opportunity to be a part of this, to initiate and be the youth member and joining this youth forum. So I'm really looking forward to contributing more for this and being making a better thing in the society. And I'm thankful for this opportunity. And I congratulate Himabindu ma'am on this launch. Thank you.
Thank you, Sprujana. So she was the one, sir, who was motivated a lot of youth. And Youth Forum, AHA Youth Forum is formalized. Thank you, Sprujana. And I request Dr. C.P. Bansal, sir, who's joined with us. Thank you, sir, a past chairperson, very, very, he was so instrumental in bringing AHA to this level. We all look forward for your blessings, sir. Bansal, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hema. Sincere greetings to respected MKC Nair sir, Dr. Chavla sir, and all esteemed office bearers of Central IAP. Our dynamic secretary in goggles, looking smart, Dr. Preeti, Dr. Atanu, and all the office bearers. My sincere greetings to you all, and tons of congratulations to Dr. Hema for this wonderful program. And logo definitely is vibrant, and I'm sure the team will do wonders and create this wave, a very high frequency wave, and the program is deemed to be success. There is no doubt about it. We all are completely in favor of this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your blessings. Chavla, sir, please, we try to unmute, sir.
Sir, unmute here.
Unmute.
Sir.
First of all, respected Dr. MKC Nair, Dr. C.P. Bansal, and good evening to everyone. And this is an excellent initiative, and this is a very good program. I wish her great success. I'm very happy to know the youth who are participating for this program. And I will congratulate to all Dr. Himabindu and her team, and the youth also. Without them, it was very difficult to bring this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, any more else blessings from Dr. Geeta Patil, Dr. Sushma ji, who are anyway part of my team. Please,
1 minute, that's all. I think as I am a part of this program with Himabindu madam, I think without involvement of the young adults and adolescent, we cannot achieve our mission. So everybody should get involved in this wave, and that will definitely achieve our target. Wish all the best to all of us to take this program forward. It is not AHA for everyone. It is not only for the team 2025, whole Adolescent Health Academy as well as IAP. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Geeta ji. Sushma ji.
Very good evening to all and my respected Guru, Dr. M.K. Sinai sir, Dr. C.P. sir, Atanu Bhadra sir, Hima ji, Geeta ji, Preeti madam, and all the respected seniors and colleagues. I think entire AHA is thrilled today on the launch of this very innovative program. My heartfelt congratulations to for conceptualizing such a nice program. And I, as a successor, I promise to take it forward for the in 2026 as well. My heartfelt congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Sushma ji. We have Sukanta sir and Ramesh Bajani who's just joined. Then we hand over and to Dr. Gujarati. Sukanta sir.
Good evening. Good evening. I must congratulate the entire AHA team and with MKC Nair and all other descendants that this is the initiative we have taken with the youth, because whatever we do for them is the feedback that we collect from them. So this is, I think, a very good update we'll be getting. Thank you very much for such a good initiative.
Thank you. Ramesh Bajania sir, Vice President, S Zone.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. And now adolescent chapter has not been an adolescent, but has grown into a fully adult, mature adult one. So my best wishes to all of you for plenty of activities throughout the year. And this is definitely a great initiative. And I'm very sure that it will not only benefit our colleagues, but the common people, parents alike. Once again, my best wishes and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the Central IP leadership and all our seniors and colleagues who are joined for this launch. Thank you, Sprujana. And you are the main, the focal point for us. And thank you so much that you have come over to this platform. And, youth voice is extremely important. That inspires and motivates us to work for you, all of you. We'll work together. Thank you. Thank you so much. So now we hand over the platform. I hope you have not missed anybody. You hand over the platform to the AHA Gujarat.
Madam, definitely. And the next program is also the part and parcel of our this Wave 18 program. That is the our expert connect, and that is also the activity we are starting with the AHA Gujarat. So I hand over the mic to our MOC, Dr. Angelica ma'am.
Congratulations to IAPHA for a wonderful launch of this unique initiative of Wave 18. Once again, I thank all the dignitaries of IAP, Central IAPs, IAP AHA, UNICEF for gracing this occasion. And we will now continue forward with the Expert Connect, our webinar series of AOP Gujarat, which is a presidential action plan for year 25-26. And today's episode is in association with the Gujarat Adolescent Health Academy. So before we start the Expert Connect program, I would like to invite President of AOP Gujarat, Dr. Jagdish Khamar sir, to say a few words about his action plan, Expert Connect.
So Anjali, can we just acknowledge the presence of another youth, Sachetan there? Sachetan, please put your video on. Hello. Sachetan. Thank you for joining. I was just appreciating your contribution to the Wave 18.
Okay. Angelica, we can continue forward.
Okay. Welcome, Dr. Khamar sir, for saying a few words about the Action Plan Expert Connect. President AOP Gujarat.
I think he lost the connection, so we can continue with the further program proceedings.
I request Dr. Ramesh Bajania sir, he is Vice President West Zone, to give his blessings for this webinar series, Expert Connect. Dr. Bajania sir.
Yes, Bajania sir. Okay.
Okay, request now Dr. Nishal Bhatt, he is the chairperson of Gujarat AHA, to say his welcome address about the Expert Connect program.
Thank you so much, Dr. Angelica, and I am very happy and thrilled that our first webinar series of AOP Gujarat and Gujarat AHA is focused on adolescent health. And I am so very happy that Dr. MKC Nair sir is with us for this program, and we are looking forward for this adolescent program. It is going to be a 3-case discussion which will be useful for routine practicing pediatricians, how to diagnose, how to treat at pediatric level, and when to refer. So it is going to be an amazing next 1 hour of adolescent health. I'm so happy and congratulate Central AHA for launching this program of Wave 18 and congratulate all the office bearers. And I welcome each and everyone, including the office bearers of Central IIP for this program. It has been said that real luxury is not working like a maniac to take an expensive vacation. It is living a life you enjoy every day. And we all enjoy working with adolescents, empowering them, creating future for India. And I'm very happy that we are part of this academy, these organizations, and which is going to be a very vibrant year for this 2025 because it is a silver jubilee year for Adolescent Health Academy. So I welcome you all and looking forward for more and more such programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nishal Bhai. I would like to request the Honorary Secretary of IAP, Dr. Yogesh Parekh sir, to give his blessings for this initiative of AOP Gujarat.
So thank you very much, Dr. Anjulika Mehta Madam, and respected seniors, our past president and doyen of the adolescent, Dr. M.K. Nair sir, Dr. C.P. Bansal sir, and all the dignitary, my dear brother, Dr. Jagdish Kumar sir, Dr. Samir, Dr. Nishal Bhai, Dr. Geeta Patil madam, Dr. Sushma Ben, Dr. Hema Bindu, Dr. Prakash Veer Arya sir, Dr. R.G. Patil sir, Dr. Harvesh Ben sir, Dr. Ajit C. Chawla sir, and all the dignitary of the AHA, Central AHA and the Gujarat AHA. This is a wonderful initiative by the Central AHA and with the team of the Gujarat AHA. The launch of the Wave 18 is an excellent initiative with the support of all the team of the AHA. Let me congratulate AOP Gujarat with this nice initiative of the Expert Connect. And I think this is the first webinar organized by the AOP Gujarat with the AHA Gujarat and the Central AHA. And its focus on the topic of the immense relevance and the importance, common adolescent issue in the office practice, how to handle and when to refer. So this is the very much needed important of the addressing the adolescent issue because the adolescent we know in the critical stage of the development and marked by the significant physical, emotional and the psychological changes. And as a pediatrician, we are the first contact point for them. They are seeking guidance and support from us. So it is very essential that we are well equipped to address their issue they face, from the mental health concern to the substance abuse to the sexual and what is for the reproductive health. I think this webinar having a main objective how to enhance the awareness for this common adolescent issue and encounter the office practice and provide the practical solution for there and identify referral pathways. So let me again congratulate Dr. Shamil Shah, Dr. Jagdish Kumar, Dr. Nishal Bhai and the whole team for this nice initiative. And today's speaker, the Dr. Geeta Patil Madam, Dr. Hema Bindu, Dr. Sushma Desai Madam, and our own Dr. Nima Sitapura, Dr. Prashant Karia, Dr. Snehal Sirolwala, Dr. Silpa, and Dr. Nishal Bhai. So we in the presence of all the luminary of the galaxy of the Central AHA and the Gujarat AHA, it will be the excellent program, best wishes for this program. And I congratulate all for this nice initiative. So let us take a full advantage of this opportunity to learn, share and grow together as a community. By staying informed and proactive, we can continue to provide the highest standard of the care to our adolescents and support them in navigating this crucial stage of their lives. So thank you very much. Have a engaging and enlightening session of this Expert Connect. So thank you, Dr. Samir and the team for inviting me, Dr. Kamar Saab and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words and your blessings. Now I would like to request Dr. Sameer Shah, Secretary of AOP Gujarat and Gujarat AHA, to give an overview about the Expert Connect before we start the panel discussion.
Esteemed faculty, I think my voice is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. It is a great pleasure and it's a really great enthusiasm from our team to AOP Gujarat webinar series Expert Connect, a platform dedicated to a case-based discussion that foster the learning, collaboration, and knowledge sharing. We appreciate the presence of the dignitaries from the Central IAP, Central AHA, and UNICEF for sparing their valuable time and gracing the occasion of this joint launching venture. Our vision for this initiative is structured, yet dynamic, ensuring consistently quality in academic discussions. We have planned monthly webinar on third Tuesday of each month. We are proud to collaborate with the 5 branches of subspecialty chapter from the Gujarat state and along with the women wing of the AOP Gujarat, mainly chapters including the Adolescent Health Academy, Critical Care chapter, Infectious Disease chapter, Neonatology chapter, and Neurology chapter of the Gujarat. While we ensure that faculties from the Gujarat lead the session, we also invite the expert from the outside the state to enrich our discussion. The selection of the topic and faculty is carefully dedicated to the respective subspecialty chapters office bearer to ensure the relevance and its depth. Each session follow an engaging the panel discussion format featuring 1 moderator and 4 panelists with representation from the all zone of the Gujarat. Additionally, 2 members from our dedicated webinar team will serve as a moderator in charge, ensuring a smooth execution. Today, we mark the beginning of this initiative with our first session in association with the Adolescent Health Academy of Gujarat chapter on today's 18th February, what we mark as a UA Day. My sincere thanks to the office bearer of the AHA Gujarat chapter for accepting the invitation without any hesitation as opening batsman. And I will like to express my sincere appreciation for the dedicated webinar series team working behind the scene by the chief in charges Dr. Anjalika Mehta and Dr. Jankana Sanghvi, along with the zonal in charge Dr. Dhiren Patel from Mehsana, Dr. Manish Mehta from Ahmedabad, Dr. Jigen Shah from Vadodara, Dr. Krunal Shah from Vapi, and Dr. Tejas Hapani from Rajkot, all the 5 zones of the Gujarat. And their relentless efforts were made this initiative possible, ensuring that we deliver high quality academic content to benefit the pediatricians across the Gujarat and of course country. We embark on this journey. I encourage the active participation, insightful discussions, and meaningful exchange knowledge. And let's make this Expert Connect a landmark learning experience to all. Thank you once again for joining.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Sameer Shah, sir. I would like to acknowledge, kindly mute. Yeah, thank you. I would like to acknowledge the presence and welcome Dr. Jankana Sanghvi, madam. She is President-elect of AOP Gujarat. Welcome, ma'am. And also acknowledge the presence of all the ED members of AOP Gujarat and Gujarat AHA for attending this today's academic feast. Now let us proceed to the academic session. That is the first session in which we will be discussing common adolescent issues in office practice, how to manage and when to refer. So today with us, we have an esteemed galaxy of speakers from Central AHA as well as from Gujarat AHA. First of all, I'd like to welcome and introduce the experts for today. Dr. Hima Bindu Singh ma'am, she is Chairperson IAPHA 2025. Dr. Sushma Desai ma'am, she is Chairperson-elect of IAPHA. And Dr. Geeta Badil ma'am, she is Chairperson IAPHA 2024. Welcome. They will give their expert comments during the sessions. And today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Nima Sitapara ma'am. She will start the session, and the panelists today are Dr. Nishchal Bhatt, Dr. Prashant Karya, Dr. Shilpa Toshniwal, and Dr. Snehal Shirowala. It is my pleasure to introduce each one of them. Dr. Nima Sitapara ma'am, she is a consultant pediatrician adolescent specialist, the only adolescent health specialist and counselor from the Saurashtra region of Gujarat. She is the director of Ma Sharda Childcare Rajkot, and she has done lots of awareness activities for adolescent healthcare, especially the mental health wellness, for which she has been awarded by Adolescent Health Academy in 2016 and 17. Welcome, ma'am. Our first panelist is Dr. Nishal Vatsa. He is the chairperson 2025 Gujarat AHA. He is the creator of the Parent Teens Workshop, past president of AOP Gujarat 2018. He is a passionate ambassador of adolescent healthcare and a faculty in many national and state conferences. Second panelist for today is Dr. Snehal Shirolawala. She is consultant pediatrician and adolescent health specialist at Spandan Children Hospital, Baroda. She is the immediate past president of AOP Baroda, and she is the EB member of Central Zone AHA Gujarat. Welcome, ma'am. Third panelist for today is Dr. Prashant Karya. He is the Central IAP EB member of 24-25. He has been the EB member of West Zone's IAP AHA in 22-23. Is active in adolescent healthcare, and he has many feathers in his cap. He has been a committee member of various IAP guidelines. Welcome, sir. And the last panelist for today is Dr. Shilpa Totniwal. She is a principal pediatrician and adolescent specialist at practicing at Kutch. She runs a Talk to Teens clinic, and she is very passionate about adolescent healthcare. So with this esteemed galaxy of speakers today, I hope that the discussion is going to be very insightful. So let us start with the academics. Over to Dr. Neema Sitapara, ma'am.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Especially today, we got this opportunity in presence of so many dignitaries. ज्ञान के इस महाकुंभ में पहली डुबकी लगाने का मौका हमको मिला है. So I'm thankful on behalf of myself and my team of panelists, and that too in presence of three expert, bold and beautiful, yet very learned ladies chairpersons. So coming to the point, we will be discussing few cases. The theme would be case scenario that we get in the pediatric practice, how to handle them, how to manage them, and when to refer them to the experts. So I would like to take the first case. Gentle reminder to the participants to please mute yourself. I would like to take the first
Samir,
case.
you can mute everyone. Samir, please.
Yes, Dr. Samir, please mute all the other participants. Coming to the first case, 14-year-old Ravi comes with complaint of headache since 3 months and not able to fall asleep till late night. He often skips schools as he cannot wake up on time in the morning. He has his personal smartphone with him, but parents are not aware about the activities and time spent on the screen. So my first question is to Dr. Snehal. What particular history would you like to elicit as an approach towards headache with Ravi?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. Nimaben, as you rightly said, the child has recently received a cell phone and he spends a lot of time or stays awake till late night. So my first two important history for this child would be to find out how late he goes to bed, because many a times adolescents keep awake till late night and in the morning they don't get enough sleep. So sleep deprivation is one of the major reason for getting headache in teenagers. Second, I would also like to know the time spent on screen, because that also contributes to sleep deprivation. And not to miss on other important causes of headache, I would like to take detailed history about its origin, progress, because since it has started for 3 months, I would also like to know whether it has progressed really fast or if it is associated with any other systemic complaints like vomiting or feeling giddy or other neurological complaints.
Okay, and what systemic examination, particularly in case of headache, should a pediatrician go with?
In addition to routine examination, blood pressure would remain the first investigation, which I think everyone should make a habit, especially when we are dealing with obese children also, and detailed neurological examination to find out whether we are dealing with a neurological headache. History of migraine and looking for other systemic signs will also is also needed.
And what are the red flag signs that a pediatrician should be alert that this is not a routine primary headache and it could be something else with some secondary causes?
In that case, we'll have to see whether the onset is sudden, whether the pain is really severe, if it is associated with neurological signs, if we, see that the blood pressure is raised and there are other neurological signs on examination, giddiness, syncope, pain exacerbated by exercise, or maybe it is sudden in onset, and the chronicity, I mean over a period of time the pain has increased in intensity to a great extent that it disturbs sleep, it disturbs the routine activity also.
Yes, even if it is occipital or even if it is in age less than 6 years, we should be very alert about some secondary causes.
Secondary causes.
Yes, very rightly said. Now, my next question is to Dr. Nishchal. How should a pediatrician manage primary headache in office? Pharmacological and non-pharmacological process.
So basically, as Dr. Snehal has already shared, those headache which has secondary cause, they are considered as a secondary headache, whereas those headache who do not have any organic cause behind it is considered as a primary headache. So if you see, there are three most common headaches happening in adolescent, which are primary in origin. The first one is migraine, second one is tension headache, and third one they call it as cluster headaches or trigeminal autonomic cephalgias. Now, if you want to differentiate these three headaches, the trigeminal autonomic cephalgia has the autonomic nerve manifestations like increased lacrimation, ptosis, or there will be a lot of rhinorrhea in these children. The tension headaches will have history of child going through some examination, or there is some tension in the house, or some mental or emotional trauma which has recently happened in this child. So if we find out that this child has a primary headache, then there is a non-pharmacological we should try first, and the acronym is called as SMART management. The first one is to maintain a sleep circadian rhythm in these children, because teenagers, because of the presence of smartphone, have a habit of sleeping very late, getting up little early for this. So there's taken care of. Second important area is meals and hydration, that is taking breakfast regularly and drinking enough water throughout the day. That needs to be created in the family with the counseling. The third one, A, is activity or some form of physical exercise in this children is very, very important, because that will create some hormonal balance in them, and the headaches are tend to go away. The R is for relaxation. So we must teach them a little bit of relaxation as well as to maintain their emotions, so that they can learn about deep breathing, some meditation or some yoga in this area, so that their emotions are under control. And last one is triggers. T is for triggers. So we need to go into the history to find out what could be the trigger. Some food items can be the trigger, sleep deprivation can be the trigger. So if we can communicate with the parents and the family, and if we could remove them that from their life, then this kind of headaches can be reduced. Routinely, pharmacological medicines, the commonly we use is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medicines. The one could be simple paracetamol or ibuprofen. Sometimes we can also use mefenamic acid in these children as one tablet 3 times a day. And sometimes if the headaches are not under control, then we may add some other medicines also. So the SMART is for non-pharmacological management, and few NSAIDs for the pharmacological treatment of this kind of headaches in teenagers.
Okay, Dr. Nishal, do you feel that pediatric migraines are being overdiagnosed, or can you just give 5 or 6 clinical signs that a pediatrician can identify that this could be a pediatric migraine and not a simple headache?
For sure. See, around 7.7 to 9% of the headaches are migraine in children as well as in adolescent age group children. Now, many a times these children have very common presentation as they are missing schools very frequently. Their school performance or the scholastic performance is reducing over a period of time. Many a times their quality of life at home is also suffering because they cannot vernaculate it, but they have few aura which comes up like lightings or some spots in their eyes. Many a times they also have a vomiting just before starting the headache. And the most important thing is a family history of migraine. If we can find out that, sometimes as compared to adults, the teenagers and the childhood migraines are bilateral. It is not unilateral. So this is very, very different. Another important thing is that before puberty, boys are tend to develop more migraines, whereas post puberty, it is girls who are developing more migraines. These hormonal changes which happens during puberty makes the female more prone to migraines. So if we can find out this kind of history, examination, and a little bit of scholastic backward in these children, then definitely we must try to find out that is there a migraine in this child other than a simple primary headache or tension headache.
Yes, but conclusively, we can say that whether migraine or not a migraine, the smart management is helpful in all types of pediatric headache, and we have to rule out the secondary cause.
Absolutely.
Right? So, Dr. Shilpa, my question to you is we have seen that Ravi is not able to sleep well at night, and we see so many children having similar complaints in our office practice. So, can you quickly enumerate the common sleep problems that are seen in adolescents, Dr. Shilpa?
Yes, good evening, ma'am. Common sleep problems which we see in adolescents are insomnia. Then very common is delayed falling asleep because in adolescents, the normal circadian rhythm is delayed. The melatonin secretion is later than in childhood. So they tend to sleep late and then they have their routines in the morning, they get up on time. So their sleep is not complete. The sleep requirement of even our adolescents is about 8 to 9 hours, which is very difficult to complete with this. So it is very important that emphasis is laid by the parents on the sleep of their adolescents.
And what is the importance of sleep in pediatric and teenage?
Yes.
Is it as important as food and exercise?
Exactly. Sleep is very important. Sleep is important for their physical, mental, and emotional health. The repair and regeneration process in the body takes place during the sleep. And especially in adolescent age, we all know the remodeling in brain is taking place. So that process also takes place in sleep. Children and adolescents who do not sleep well, it hampers their decision making, their problem solving ability, their memory, focus, concentration, and cognition. All this is affected due to lack of sleep.
Yes, this is what our Prime Minister highlighted recently in Pariksha Pe Charcha. He said that आप सुन रहे हो कि प्रधानमंत्री बोल रहा है कि सोना है एग्जाम के टाइम पे, but that is as important as your learning for exams. And can you recommend some few tips for basic sleep hygiene to the parents, which we all should be following with our children also, and which pediatrician should be prescribing to their patients?
Yes, definitely. It is very important to emphasize on the period which the child and adolescent should sleep. And they should have a fixed sleep time and wake up time. And this should not be changed over the weekends by more than 2 hours. Then secondly, it is very, very important that whatever is the sleep time, the adolescent should be off screen, off their mobile, TV, laptop, at least 1 hour before their sleep time. Then they should have dinner at proper time, at least 2 hours before the sleep. After 5 p.m., they should not have tea, coffee, or any other caffeinated beverages. That is very important. And in their lifestyle, exercise should be there. Some form of exercise is very important so that they sleep well and they have a good quality sleep. So I think these things we as pediatricians should emphasize and should talk to parents of children and adolescents in our routine day-to-day practice also.
Yes, we can make a chart of that, and as we give the diet chart or food chart, we can give a good sleep chart also to the patients. Coming to Dr. Prashant, we have seen that Ravi is finding it difficult to overcome his habit of online games. His parents are not aware about this. He came to you and you were able to elicit that he is spending 3 to 4 hours post dinner on online games. Now, how will you help with Ravi and his problem?
So thank you so much. First of all, it's a great honor to present the first program and in presence of my teacher, Dr. M.K. Nair sir. Now, as you already said that Ravi is already having an issue with the internet gaming and mobile addiction. So it's most important that while we are taking a history, we take the head's history and find out the factors which are protective as well as the risk factors. Once we find out this protective and risk factors, after that, usually it happens that when you elicit the history, most important thing is that you must provide them a area in which they can share everything and they also listen to your things. Now, when you are saying this, how we should help, then in this case, as Nishal Bhai said, smart things, I will also say a smart thing to help him. The S here is a set limits. Set limits means if you are using a smartphones or you are using TV screens or anything, at that time the limit should be there. In phones, we do have iPhone users are having a screen time. Android users can download the application screen time or usage time, and by that time they can come to know what is the time they are spending on a smartphone as well as what are the things they are doing. See, for the educational purpose, if they are using, that's fine, but if they're using for the other purposes, then we need to cut down, and for that, that is the most important S, that is important. The M is me to follow. That means the parents must be checked whether they are using the smartphones more and that's why the child is using. If that is there, then that should not be there. A is avoiding the distractions. Whatever the distractions they are having, they may be having some issues. For that, they are using the screens. Again, we will advise to them for this. And then R is for the rehabilitation part, which can be in form of non-pharmacological measures, in form of a CBT or any other things which can also be said. And T is for the tension. If they are using it for attention, then the coping strategies can also be told to them. Thank you.
Yes. And when we talk about any screen time and screen management to the teenagers, their question is, do you mean I am addicted?
Okay.
What will be your advice?
So
or how will you define addiction?
You are asking to an addicted person whether you are addicted to screen or not. See, as such, we all are addicted to screen, and that's why we are at present there in a Zoom meeting. But yes, this is just
it's
for
a very fine line between overuse and addiction, but still we have to give them some criteria.
So, Niva, the criteria are given by the DSM-5, which are there. They say that if you want to have a IGD, then at least 5 from the 9 criteria should be there. It's there in a books. I don't want to go for the books. I just want to give you a mnemonic by name of Prashant, so that you can remember Prashant who is addicted, and then you will remember it. 1 or 2 things will be missed, but then fine. One is preoccupation. That means that is the only thing, constant thoughts about the gamings or anything which is coming to your mind apart from any other things, then yes, you are addicted. R is for the relieving the negative moods. Say for example, I'm depressed and I'm using that to decrease my mood, then yes, I'm addicted to that. It is attempt to control. When people are saying that you attempt it but you are not able to attempt to control it, then yes, you can be addicted. Social deception, that is the one of the most important thing. मैं तो सिर्फ आधा घंटा ही phone use करता हूँ, but when you check the history and screen time, it is 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, even sometimes 7 hours. Then this social deception can be a problem. Most important H is hobbies lost. See, usually we all get kick, and that's why we are using it and we are becoming addicted. These hobbies are actually giving you a kick. A dopamine release is there, the endorphin release is there. If your hobbies are lost because of this, then yes, you are addicted. Most important, adverse impact. this gaming is having not only the physical but also the psychological impact. But you are not saying that yes, you are having effect because of that, then yes, you are addicted. Most important negative consequences, like your relationship with your friends is not good, your education part has been problematic, still you are using it, then you are addicted. And last most important is tolerance and withdrawal. That means initially you are using it for only half an hour, now you're using it for more time. I mean 1 hour, 2 hours.
Get the same
Yes,
kick.
you are addicted. So this is a simple Prashant mnemonic. If you remember it, you can know how you are addicted to internet or not. Yeah.
And when to refer Prashant to psychiatrist?
So you can refer Prashant to Prashant only. Okay. See, referring to a psychiatrist is usually when you advise them that yes, decrease your uses and they are having a withdrawal symptoms. If these withdrawals are in form of irritability, aggression, restlessness, then yes, you must refer them. Or this addiction is part of the underlying psychiatric disorder. See, when I said head's history, you will come to know that this child is using internet or a gaming because the child is either in having depression or anxiety issues. In that case, definitely refer. Unsuccessful attempt to decrease this, again refer to a shut clinic that is there in Bangalore, because I can see Geeta ma'am, so we can say we can refer there. So that is there. And most important, if there is a OCD associated, I mean obsessive compulsive disorder, that I have to use this, then yes, you have to use this. And few of the children who are actually having underlying mental disorders along with a suicidal thoughts or a severe depression, they must be referred.
Yes, whether addicted or not, that is not the point to be noted. But what are the preventive strategies and how that time on screen can be reduced? That all we pediatricians can take responsibility for our patients. Thank you so much. I would like to welcome Hima Bindu ma'am, the expert for this case, to give some more insights in this scenario which we have seen for Ravi. Hima Bindu ma'am.
Should I call her?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Yeah. I just went inside. Yeah, Bullion. What was the question?
Ma'am. This was a case of Ravi who is having headache, who is having screen overuse, gaming addiction, and not able to sleep. So, can you give some more insights about similar problems in pediatric practice?
Yeah, actually, I heard all the, they were very good interactive, there was explanations by all the three experts on the panel. I would just like to add, because we are in the medical college for quite some time, so I would like to first rule out organic causes, traditionally that's what we teach our students also. So,
Yes,
in
ma'am.
that ruling out, I think though we know that stress and mobiles, all these are common factors nowadays, but still we have to rule out refractive errors and even sinusitis as one of the causes. So these are the few. I think we have missed that, and maybe raised in intracranial tension could be a very serious tumor. Anything it could be, and then of course come. But those are rare, maybe less common causes, but still these they are treatable and interventions are required there. So maybe those three things maybe could have been there listed out in the ruling out, and come to the other psychosocial history taking. Then we can make out the other triggers. So just that is one from my side.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And what about the family dynamics? How was it?
Yes, the complete head screen we should be taking, and whatever the factors that are prompting this use, we should be correcting and giving advice to the parents also.
It could be something to miss the class, or it could be some mental issue, it could be stress, it could be bully. So many things could be there. So it requires a detailed psychohistory taking.
And correction of that part also, not only the addiction. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, moving to the next case, this is a 13-year-old Hia, and she has started getting periods before 8 months. They are scanty and irregular as per her mother. She complains of severe abdominal pain, mood changes, food cravings before the periods. Her weight is also in borderline range for obesity as per BMI chart. So my first question is to Dr. Shilpa. What are the normal menstrual issues that occurs during early cycles after menarche in teenage girls?
Yes, ma'am. During the early cycles after menarche, very commonly we encounter is irregular periods. There can be menorrhagia, metrorrhagia, dysmenorrhea, but irregular periods are very common for first 1 to 1.5 year because of anovulatory cycle. The hormones take time to regulate. So we have to counsel the mother, the patient, that for first 1 to 1.5 year, your periods may be irregular and there can be these problems. But after 1.5 years, the cycle should regularize.
Okay. And what about the severe mood changes, food craving she is having before her periods?
Yes, this is premenstrual syndrome. Before the periods, certain symptoms happen because of the premenstrual syndrome. These can be behavioral and mood changes. They can have mood swings. Many times they have crying spells. They feel depressed. They have certain food cravings. And sometimes they also have certain physical symptoms which can be normal, like having breast tenderness. Then acne may flare up. They can have abdominal pain, they can have joint pain. So these are common premenstrual syndrome which a girl faces. And when such girls come to us, then we have to counsel them regarding their diet. They should have a well-balanced, healthy diet. They should have a good exercise routine and stress management techniques like doing meditation, pranayam. All these things help for the premenstrual syndrome, the symptoms lessen down. And in spite of doing these things, if PMS is severe, then many times we prescribe antioxidants, common preparations like Pre-Mens Plus, which is a good combination of different antioxidants. They help to a great extent.
Okay. Can the severity of PMS point towards any other disorder or psychiatric diagnosis?
Yes, sometimes if the depression symptoms are very severe and not going even with these antioxidants and lifestyle changes, then we have to suspect PMDD, that is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. In that, the symptoms of depression are there, and many times we have to use antidepressants like the fluoxetine and other drugs.
Okay, nice. So now coming to Dr. Prashant, what history and physical examination should be done in a case of amenorrhea, and when should it raise an alarm to a pediatrician?
So in case of amenorrhea, first and foremost important thing should be checked is whether it is a primary amenorrhea or a amenorrhea. Okay. See, secondary amenorrhea may not be always a pregnancy, but yes, primary amenorrhea or a secondary amenorrhea. In primary amenorrhea, we say that no periods by around 15 or 16 years of age when the girl is having a secondary sexual characteristics, or by the age of 13 if she is not having a breast bud development, then also you will be suspecting some primary disorders. Secondary amenorrhea is usually defined that more than 3 months the girl is not having periods after a normal previously menstruating girl. So if it is there, then that can be an issue. And for that, most important, as somebody has already said, that pregnancy, yes, we have to rule out because that falls under a POXO Act also, and that can be a problematic. So we have to rule out that for sure in a adolescent girl. But other things like a PCOS or thyroid issues or even eating disorders, see anorexia nervosa or bulimia, that can also have an issue. To have a zero figure, if they are doing a strict exercises, again that can lead to amenorrhea. That can also be a problem. In this adolescent girls, when we take a history, we also take a history and examination part, that we check for the hirsutism. All these things can be a marker. I mean, the obesity and hirsutism, that can again be a marker of a underlying PCOD, that can be there, and that can be a problem. Most important, if these girls in this period are having excessive weight gain or excessive weight loss, both things can again lead to amenorrhea. That can be a problem. And nowadays, all these students are having the exam stress. This exam stress can also lead to the amenorrhea. Even the girls who are there in a sports, they can also have this type of amenorrhea. So when we do a physical examination of these girls, of adolescent girls, Nima Ben, at that time, most important thing, first thing will be all these histories, whatever hits we have taken. But apart from that, the basic anthropometry, the weight, height, the BMI, the waist circumference to hip ratio, all these things has to be checked. That is there. The thing which is normally been missed is a Tanner staging. That Tanner staging has to be done. That what is the breast development? I mean, the all five things. Most important thing, as an adolescent pediatrician, if you are a male pediatrician and doing a Tanner stage, one chaperone, a female, should always be there. Or if she's not comfortable, you have to train your staff or other doctor and show them the charts. By that, they can tell you that this is the Tanner staging. That is most important. All the secondary sexual characteristic, if that is there. And on examination parts, sometimes, very rarely though, we may get some masses. This mass can be in form of a pregnancy or some malignancies that can also be there.
So simply, if we enumerate, what are the routine blood investigations, lab investigations, or radiological that a pediatrician can recommend in case of very scanty bleeding or amenorrhea?
So first and foremost important will be a hormonal assays. I mean, the hormonal assays in form of FSH, LH, TSH, prolactin, estradiol, testosterone, all these levels. That is the most important, because that from that we can come to diagnosis. Along with that, some metabolic workup. See, some disorders, like if you want to rule out the metabolic disorders, then fasting insulin or a GTT or a lipid profile can be there. Most important, again, USG pelvis to rule out pregnancy as well as PCOS. These are the two commonest things which should not be missed.
And sometimes I think karyotyping, if needed, to rule out Turners or something.
Definitely. If short stature, that is most important that
Yes,
we
yes. Dr. Snehal, as we have seen that Hia is having very painful periods. She is complaining of severe abdominal pain. So what can be the reasons for such painful menstruations, especially in the early cycles?
Yeah. So as you just mentioned that her gynecological age is just 8 months. She has started her periods for 8 months.
Yes, since 8 months.
In that case, can consider it as primary dysmenorrhea, because it is quite common to have pain in abdomen or dysmenorrhea during their first year of their periods, and usually it starts after 6 months of getting periods. So primary dysmenorrhea should definitely be kept in mind. But as the mother also complained that the girl is having scanty periods, in that case we should be focusing on other signs and symptoms also if she is not responding to routine pain management.
Okay, and when should we think of secondary dysmenorrhea and investigate more in a case of painful menstruation?
So, I mean, if the pain is very severe and if it is extended to thighs also and back also, if the pain is there between between two cycles also, and if the girl is not menstruating, I mean, we know that the periods can be irregular in the first year or maybe up to 3 years. But if the periods are prolonged beyond 3 months, then also it is a reason we should be investigating for this pain, because there are many anomalies. Many times we see that the vaginal stenosis is missed and the girl may present as hematocolpos, or sometimes hypothyroid girls with multiple ovarians, then she can have pain. Endometriosis is one of the reason where sometimes girls may have history of bleeding through nose also. I mean, the same time she has periods. So history such as severe bleeding or scanty bleeding should also raise the suspicion of having secondary dysmenorrhea.
Yes, and any discharge also, any significant
discharge, foul
discharge with
smelling
some
discharge,
foul
yes.
smell, yes.
Yes,
And
PID is
with
one of
systemic
the
signs like fever.
absolutely
Yes,
fever
yes.
signs of PID.
And yes, routine office management of dysmenorrhea, like routine prescriptions which we can give to teenage girls.
Most of the time non-pharmacological measures do work, like hot water bag on the tummy and the back helps, pelvic floor exercises, lots of fluid before the periods, avoiding salt, that also help in reducing the PMS and also dysmenorrhea. And if the pain is severe, the girl can have simple pain management like NSAIDs like ibuprofen and paracetamol. Mefenamic acid also works well. And for severe pain or colicky pain, if it is associated, she can use antispasmodic like dicyclomine also.
Yes, and earlier the better. Like on the first day of the period,
Yeah.
it is better if they are
So
used
usually
earlier.
when we give it for the first 3 days, the symptoms are well controlled and usually the whole cycle passes off uneventfully.
Yes, yes. Coming to Dr. Nishal, in opposite to Hia, we see many girls who in the initial menstrual cycles have complained of excessive bleeding continuing for many days. So, what are the common causes and common classification of excessive bleeding?
Yeah, let me first just give a few diagnostics for the excessive bleeding things. One is have periods that last longer than 7 days, have to change your pad or tampon every hour for several hours back to back, need to wear multiple pads at a time to prevent leaking blood, change pads in the middle of the night, can't do normal activities when you have your periods, and pass blood clots which are larger than a coin size. So if a girl having this kind of severe bleeding, it is called as abnormal uterine bleeding or menorrhagia. And there are several classification for the causes or the classification of this abnormal uterine bleeding or menorrhagia. If we define etiological classification, as per hormonal imbalance, it can be ovulation, which is most common in the young girl, thyroid disease, and polycystic ovarian syndrome. Few growth like polyp, fibrinoids, and adenomyosis. Adenomyosis can also lead to increased bleeding in this girl. Infections, as it was very well said, like trichomoniasis or gonorrhea or endometriosis, can definitely lead to abnormal uterine bleeding. And something related to pregnancy, like miscarriage or ectopic pregnancy, and many times in post C-section niche, can also lead to abnormal uterine bleeding in women. There is one acronym for the classification of abnormal uterine bleeding called PALM coin, in which the PALM is for structural things like polyp, adenomyosis, leiomyoma, and malignancies or hyperplasia. And COIN is for non-structural abnormalities like coagulopathies, ovulatory dysfunctions, endometrial, iatrogenic, and many a times you don't know the reason, that is non-classified. And if we see the young adult between 13 to 18 years, the most common cause is ovarian dysfunction and anovulation. So we must find out if this girl is going through this, and then definitely we come to know the reason behind it, and then we can treat them as per the criteria which is available.
So, how can a pediatrician manage a girl with abnormal uterine bleeding? Like whether to give a OPD treatment, when to admit, or when to refer to a gynecologist? Can you give some broad outline about this?
Yeah, the initial treatment, as Dr. Snehal has already said, and said for relieving the pain can be definitely prescribed, as there is abnormal bleeding, anemia is common, so iron also should be started. And then there are hormonal pills which can be started by a pediatrician with the combination of ethinyl estradiol as well as progestin combination, or plain norethistérone, or sometimes the medroxyprogesterone patches which are available can be started. But even after 1 or 2 months, if the bleeding is not reducing, the anemia is increasing, then we may have to refer this girl to a gynecologist for either admission or IV hormonal therapy, or sometimes they may require some procedural clearance or some diagnostic test to find out is there anything else needs to be done. So then we must not try more than that, and we must refer it to a gynecologist for further treatment.
So most of the menstrual issues can be identified and managed by a pediatrician in office practice. I would like to welcome Dr. Sushma ma'am for her expert comments on issues related to menstruation in teenage girls.
So, very good evening, all the dear panelists and the moderator, dear Nima Ben, all my home front. Nima Ben tried to cover all kind of menstrual problems in just 15 minutes. So I congratulate. You had a good discussion with your panelists, and that was a really fruitful one. So I have a few comments to make. Most important thing is the menstrual irregularity in any adolescent girl is not just a symptom. It may harbor n number of mental, physical, social, or reproductive health issues, even hormonal issues. So we need to address menstrual irregularity with utmost care. Another important thing is stress. Stress is the most common underlying factor causing any sort of menstrual irregularities, including PMS, right? So stress, we have to have a good head-assess history in any case presenting with menstrual irregularity to rule out stress. Another thing is endocrine society. According to endocrine society, we think that, the menstrual irregularity during first 2 years post-menarche are considered more or less normal. But according to endocrine society, it is very, very important to maintain a menstrual calendar if the duration is more than 90 days. And even within 1 hour post-menarche, we have to take it seriously. We have to investigate that case. We have to keep an eye on it. This girl, as you said, is overweight. Here I have a few words to say. The most important thing is, many a times in an adolescent girl, we have to plot a bit, plotting a weight on a growth chart once will not help us. It will just help us identify, plot the child on overweight or obese category. So what is more important? Plotting a linear growth chart. If there is a history of low birth weight with a catch-up growth, or if there is a history of post-menarchal accelerated weight gain, that is very important pointer towards a PCOD as a part of metabolic syndrome. So this one particular thing we have to keep in our mind. Another thing about obesity or overweight. What is more important with a menstrual irregularity? We need to identify the truncal obesity or central obesity. And here, the waist circumference or waist hip ratio is very, very important measurement. According to Khadilkar's, observation, Indian adolescent, the more than 78th percentile, if the waist circumference is more than 78th percentile for age and sex, it should be considered as a truncal obesity, or waist hip ratio more than 0.72 should be considered as a truncal obesity. This is a very good pointer towards insulin resistance. If along with acanthosis nigricans, which can be hidden over groin area, it may not be visible over here. So you may miss it at times. So these are the features which is a good pointer towards insulin resistance, which can be a part of metabolic syndrome. Another thing is, if the obesity or even overweight, even just overweight, if it is intractable, very, very difficult to initiate weight loss and more difficult to maintain it. This kind of a weight gain in any adolescent girl is a good pointer towards metabolic syndrome. So these are the points regarding obesity or overweight. Now, regarding scanty periods, this child has a scanty periods. As such, scanty periods and dysmenorrhea are less common compared to heavy bleeds or painless periods during initial 1 year of postmenarche. So when the girl presents with scanty period, we need to rule out underlying pathological causes. Sometimes we may be missing something. Another important thing is if there is a severe pain. Now, it has a tendency we have observed in girls. If the periods are scanty, they would not change the pad frequently. In this case, there is a very high chance of local infection that may extend to urinary tract infection, PID, or serious urogenital infections. That can be a cause of serious, and severe menstrual pain, which this girl has. Another thing is, in a girl with menstrual irregularity, there are certain history points which we need to keep in our mind. First, in personal history, if we get a history of fainting attacks during morning assembly, some of the girls, they have fainting attacks during morning assembly. If these girls have a intense craving for carbs, this girl was also having intense craving. In these particular girls, it may be suggestive of impaired glucose metabolism. That can be a part of metabolic syndrome, and menstrual irregularity and PCOD is a very, very common ingredient of metabolic syndrome, as we all know. Another important thing is history of premature puberty. It is considered as precursor of PCOD. So if there is a puberty before 8 years of age, then it should be that we should keep our antennas up for the development of PCOD in these girls. Regarding family history, there are two important history we need to, elicit. The most important being history of PCOS, metabolic syndrome, obesity, or diabetes in first degree relative. There is a very high chance of having PCOD in this child. Second history, if there is a history of PMS, which is very severe, amounting to serious psychiatric issue like PMDD, there is a very, very high chance that this child may enter into a PMDD from PMS if not managed properly. That we have to rule out the psychiatric comorbidity as well, like depression, anxiety disorder in these children, right? Now, it's very, very important. I tell everyone that blood pressure measurement is a must in every adolescent, including, and most importantly, a girl presenting with menstrual irregularity. We need to keep a serial watch on blood pressure measurement because that can be the first sign of metabolic syndrome in these girls. And finally, sonography it was discussed that in a girl of premature irregularity, if it is a sonography to rule out PCOD. See, there are a few limitations by using sonography as an investigation to rule out PCOD. The first and most important thing is PCO morphology in ovaries takes a very long time to develop. So if you rely on PCO morphology by sonography, you may miss the earlier cases. Second thing, PCO morphology can be a normal variant in some adolescent girls. There are as many as various studies say that there are as many as 27 to 33% of the girls may have PCO morphology normal variant. So we may misdiagnose certain cases. And the most importantly, the girls, if she's obese, it's very, very difficult to do, trans-abdominal sonography and, identify PCO. Rather, I would say that sonography will help us identify adrenal tumors or ovarian tumors which are secreting androgens, or sometimes late onset adrenal hyperplasia. So that can be, ruled out with the help of sonography, or some anatomical abnormality we can get some idea about. So I think these were some of the points I would like to
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for that very deep insight into the case. Thank you so much. Now, quickly moving to the third case. It is a very interesting case. 18-year-old Mahek preparing for NEET 2025 comes with frequent episodes of abdominal pain, chest pain, shortness of breath, and feeling fatigued. And there were milder symptoms since 10th standard, but now the symptoms are frequent and worsening. So, coming to Dr. Prashant, what would be your first impression and how would you go ahead with this patient? Like, what would you have first thing in your mind when the complaints are with this?
Unmute.
Yeah. First thing is always rule out the organic causes. If the symptoms which they are saying are having some underlying organic pathology, they must be ruled out before labeling that as some proxy symptoms. So that is the first and foremost important thing. Now, as the case you said, and as we are saying as a adolescent pediatrician, this is most probably a case of exam stress or a panic, which is there, or anxiety issues, which this girl is having, and accordingly, we should manage this attacks.
So, can you quickly define terms like fear, phobia, anxiety? They are very vaguely used, no?
Yeah. So I'll give some funny examples also, not issue. So fear, that means you're walking on a road and it's a dark over there, and some sound comes, a sound of some accident or something came, and you are having a fear. What has happened? But actually you see, कुछ नहीं था, एक बिल्ली जा रही थी, आवाज आ गया. But that is a fear because you are in an environment in which this type of thing is there. Second, as is our case, that anxiety is usually that is worry because of the things which are there, like मुझे होती थी, मैं और शिल्पा साथ में पढ़ते थे, तो हमेशा एंजाइटी होती रहती थी कि शिल्पा के मेरे से ज्यादा मार्क आएंगे या मेरे उससे ज्यादा है. तो वो जो एंजाइटी होती थी वो एग्जाम से पहले बहुत हुआ करती थी. दैट इज एक्चुअली, there is no danger, but you are having excessive worry, some comparison, something, and because of that, that is there. Then comes your phobia. I know, Nima Ben, you are having a phobia of spider. You know that spider will not harm you, but you have a phobia. That means there is no danger, but you consider that this will cause me a danger. Say, for example, I know, Nishal bhai, tumne kadach claustrophobia chhe. So that means in a closed environment, if you are alone, you will have a fear. So that type of things falls under a phobia. And the last and most important is the panic. That means there is some issue which is there. Because of that, you are having a somatic symptoms, and this somatic symptoms may be in form of a perspiration, palpitation, or a real danger that will lead and persist, even though, like Geeta ma'am will say, kuch nahi hai, shanti rakho, ho jayega, but still you are having that panic, and sometimes for this panic you may need some medicine also. So there is a sudden intense fear, you can say, with somatic symptoms. This is what I can say.
Yes, and what I usually use is I tell the children that if the small butterflies in your tummy start feeling like huge dogs or elephants, then it is more than that small fears. So that is amounting to anxiety. And how can we differentiate the mood swings and mood disorders in adolescents? You know, they have this similar mood swings episodes. So how can the parents identify that? Is it age related developmental mood swings, or it is something beyond that?
Okay. Or at all ages this will be there, but yes, as the adolescents are having a premature brains, their frontal cortex is not developed, high emotional levels are there. Because of that, it's normal for all these mood swings and emotions to be there. But if you find some dangers or red flags, like the other associated mental health issues are also there, like a child is having a OCD, a child is having a depression, a child is having a suicidal ideation, all these things, if it is there, then that is definitely pathological and that has to be addressed.
So instead of being very short-lived like the mood swings, if they persist for more than 2 weeks, if they affect the functionality, So these are the signs that they are disorders and not the mood swings. So my next question is to Dr. Snehal, that any screening methods that routine pediatricians can use for screening anxieties? Any tools or anything that are handy and available?
Yes, Nimaben. Scared is such a tool which can be used for child and parent both, and it is really beautiful because it helps in separating other anxiety disorders also, like social anxiety or separation anxiety or phobias and many other anxiety disorders also. So it's a very simple questionnaire the child can attempt and the parent can attempt, and it is readily available on internet. If you are sure that it is general anxiety, GAD-7 is also one of the tool, which is just a 7-question questionnaire, and it can be used for screening the teens with anxiety.
Yes, they can be downloaded from net also, and they are freely available. All pediatricians can have them in their offices. And what first-hand explanation should be given to such patients?
As we know that this girl is appearing for NEET, and we know how stressful it is. So whenever we deal a patient with anxiety or such fears, we may focus either on problem or we may focus on emotion. And when we talk about problem, then third smart for today is the goals. We all know that it has to be sustainable, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So that has to be taught to each and every child. When we talk about exam fear, we can teach them study skills, how to plan their day. We know physical health is the first and foremost thing which help in maintaining mental health. Also, we know exercise gives us happy hormones, so role of exercise cannot be undermined. Shilpa ma'am rightly mentioned role of sleep, which is so important for refreshing our brain. So, and nonetheless, the family time or recreation time, which is most important. Most of the time it happens that the time cut is the family time, when the
So
kids are
emphasizing on positive, healthy
healthy
lifestyle and
lifestyle. So
things.
that will be one of the things. When we focus on problem and when we focus on emotion, we need to teach them some grounding techniques like breathing exercise, pranayam, grounding techniques like 5 4 3 2 1, which we teach to each and every patient. And if it doesn't work, and as you mentioned rightly, that if it persists beyond 2 weeks, if it is severe enough to disturb the routine activities, we must refer that patient for further evaluation.
So once we screen that it is anxiety and not any other thing, we have to explain to the parents that this is not a physical thing. Don't go from one person to other finding out some physical cause of the disease. It
Agreed,
is
agreed.
emotional and mental disease. Coming to Dr. Nishal, Mahek came to you and now she revealed to you in a personal session that the most distressing factor is the thought of NEET exam. And what further things would you like to advise to Mahek? And what if the parents insist, आप कोई दवाई लिख दो, उसके symptoms immediately खत्म हो जाएं?
Majority, Dr. Snehal has already discussed it, but I'll again one more add smart into this. The same smart which I used during the headache treatment, that is sleep. A regular follow of circadian rhythm is very, very important when you are reading for an exam or you're approaching the exams. Majority of the time, teenagers, while nearer to the exams, they reduce the sleep time, and then the fogging of brain starts happening, and then the stress and anxiety attacks increasing. So following a routine sleep time and at least sleeping for 7 hours in 24 hours is very, very important in these children. The next important thing is meals, because many a times high fatty food, high sugar food, or outside food can definitely induces a lot of anxiety because of your stomach is upset or you feel like sleeping and you want to read. So many a times this a routine meal having lots of fruits and vegetables and pulses like salads and all those things will definitely maintain their regular physical health in a proper way. Another important thing which Dr. Snehal has already said it is activity, some form of exercise, maybe a simple walk, maybe some movement in the house, maybe going upstairs from one stairs, using stairs, going on a terrace for a walk, or a family going for a 10-15 minutes walk in between will definitely create a lot of relaxation in this child. The R is for relaxation and recreation. Usually, when children are studies for so high exams where there is a lot of competition and the rank and the numbers are more important, they usually keep away is recreation and relaxation. So we must teach them that it's some time, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes of just enjoying yourself with yourself, reading something, maybe listening to music, talking to someone can definitely create a huge change in their lifestyles. And then the most important thing is everything should be time bound, so that the half an hour of recreation should not go 3 hours, and then again the anxiety and the phobia starts happening to the child. So everything should happen with time bound, so that this smart will create a lot of change in the lifestyle of this Mahek as well as in the family. And it should not be only the child, the whole family should be involved into creating this kind of smart things. And few relaxation techniques like simple sitting and deep breathing. A box breathing also can be there. You count four while inhaling, four you pause, then four you exhale, and four you pause again. This box breathing also can help. Sometimes severe panic attack relaxation can be there with reverse counting 100, 99, 98, 97. If the child follows with some focus, then gradually the focus comes back to the breathing and child reduces the anxiety attack. Some form of meditation, spirituality, or chanting of names can also create a lot of things. And in yoga, they teach progressive muscle relaxation. That also can be taught to the child in 1 or 2 sessions, and that can definitely leads to a lot of relaxation in cases of panic things. But if they are insisting on like, please prescribe some medicine to my child because it is an acute panic attack, then definitely the SSRIs like fluoxetine and sertraline can be prescribed. Sometimes a very short dose of benzodiazepine like diazepam, alprazolam, or lorazepam can also be developed. But if it has been said by Snehal, then that if this continues for more than 2 weeks, and if it is really affecting the child's routine day-to-day life, and there are chances of some ideation of suicide, then definitely we must refer this child to a psychiatry, because then this child requires frequent session of cognitive behavioral therapy, psychodynamic approach, and then a medicine to control all these things. So this is how a practicing pediatrician can definitely take care of Mahek in their routine office practice.
Yes, identify the signs where we need to refer to the psychiatrist.
Sure.
Coming to Dr. Shilpa, can you quickly help to find out clinical signs that can be insidious onset of depression in Mahek? Because we see anxiety and depression going on side by side. So how can we identify whether she is progressing towards depression?
Yeah, I think many of the points have already been very well covered by Nishchal Bhai and Dr. Snehal ma'am. But for depression, whenever we are eliciting the history, we have to keep in mind the DSM-5 criteria. Like the depressed mood, not having pleasure in things, like there are 8 things. Out of these, if 5 symptoms are present, and they are present over a period of more than 2 weeks, then we can label this as depression.
Yes, so we need to identify certain signs like frequent cryings, feeling of hopeless, feeling of worthless, lacking interest in routine activities. This would help us to identify. And any warning sign which you would take as a medical emergency, as a mental emergency, Shilpa, Dr. Shilpa?
Yes, whenever we are eliciting the history, we are taking our head's history, there is a question to be asked about suicidal tendency. Is the child having thought of putting an end to his life? If there is any such thing, then we have to ask, has he ever thought of any method to commit suicide? Or has he ever thought of putting an end to his life? There is a ask question here, ASQ, Ask Suicide Screening Questionnaire. It is freely available and it is available in different languages also. So it's a small questionnaire which takes about 20 to 30 seconds. So whenever we find a child having symptoms of depression, we should use that questionnaire. There are just 4 questions in it. And if answer to any of that is yes, then first of all, we have to breach the confidentiality. We have to talk to parents about this suicidal tendency, and then we have to seek other professional help and refer to psychiatrist as well.
Yes, yes. So these are the criterias where we need help of our psychiatric colleagues and we need to refer immediately the child. So coming to the conclusion, I would like to invite Dr. Geeta Patil ma'am as an expert to this case for her insights on anxiety, depression and suicidal behaviors in teenagers.
Thank you, Dr. Nima. I think it's a very well talked by all the panelists, and we are at the end of the today's webinar. I'm very sure everybody will be eagerly waiting when it is going to end. So I'm going to tell in short. Prashant has rightly told, first and foremost, rule out the organic cause. Never to forget that. Always don't say that it is something related to her exam stress. There may be something like a simple thing, anemia. I think we have just come out of Anemia Mukta Bharat program. Never forget anemia and hypothyroidism. So gradually go. Organic cause to be ruled out. He has already told what is a panic, fear, phobia. So we know that there is a generalized anxiety disorder, separation anxiety, social anxiety, panic attacks, phobia, then OCDs. Just I'm enumerating all the things. And medicine for panic attack, I think you always get it. The girl standing in the assembly and then she gets that, and or maybe before exam she starts hyperventilating. Just tell them to do a paper breathing in the paper bag, or maybe clonazepam sublingually. It definitely helps. These are very simple, harmless things. I just want to highlight that we should know the treatment of the panic attack, because sometimes it happens before the exam. And this girl is having, there is an impending issue about that. I think I think you were telling about the mood swings, mood disorder. Now there is a new terminology which we have to remember, because there is a disruptive mood dysregulation disorder. It is defined by DSM-5. So I'm not going into detail, just to make it aware. And then it was asked for screening, very beautifully enumerated by Snehal. But I just want to add in that, with heads, all other screening tools are there. Heads is very important. Let us not forget about the mental status examination. Now always we talk about the mental status examination, where that appearance, attitude, activity, mood, speech, by that we can make out what is her mental status. So how important is heads? Same way mental status examination is also. That is after the ruling out the organic cause, we have to rule out these things also. And apart from that, drugs, I think fluoxetine is the thing which we are comfortable to use. Please remember, depression is 10 to 20 milligram, but in anxiety it is 10 to 40 milligram. If it is a severe anxiety, if we do screening and we find out it is like that. But drugs, definitely there are criterias. When should we refer? That is the most important thing, is a red flag signs when we should refer. Already suicidal tendency, suicidal behavior, because depression, almost 35% of them have got a suicidal ideations. Then they start developing psychotic symptoms, some of them, like a delirium, hallucination. Then there is no proper support to them. There are multiple problems in their environment, and already it is told by Nima madam, that comorbid condition, anxiety doesn't exist alone, or depression doesn't exist alone. It may be combined with many things, so we have to remember. And always, if there is some factor like abuse or something, please refer, because there is sometime that may be the factor, and depression already been enumerated what are the points, and we should know what are the signs of suicidal ideation. I want to again emphasize about mental status examination. When you say that problem, please don't forget. And now mental status examination, all PHQ2, PHQ9, all the things are available. We need not have to go into detail. These are all everywhere available. There are some depression diagnostic criteria. It is MKC sirs. I think if anybody remembers, I don't know, MISWW, that Miss WW Dip C. I think I will share in the group. There is one depression diagnostic criteria, simple in the society to be used, like a mood is low or high, interest, sleep. Same, that 9 factors are there, but he has written very good way, like a that I will share in the group. So this psychopathology we have to know. And these children are having anxiety of the exam, definitely, because the world is so competition is there. Parents, teachers are expecting. So already it is told that everybody has to get involved, not only the child. Otherwise, I have seen children missing exams because of the exam fear. So very important point. It is written that in 10th standard also she had this problem. It is mentioned that 10th standard also she had a problem. So means it is going on. So family history is very important for us to know about that. There is a chance, there is a family history, genetics, all these things, also environment, how it is. So now there is one more anxiety is also we are seeing in all the adolescent, that is a climate anxiety also. So what is the anxiety? We have understood. See, every situation we get little stress. That is not anxiety. So it is a disproportionately intense, chronic, potentially irreversible reaction to the imagined threat operated through the brain, body, emotion, cognitive changes. Please remember, anxiety should not be labeled just like that. Many times we are labeling them as a anxiety disorder. Correct criteria we should know, and we should know correctly how to take a history. Never forget family history. They say maternal over involvement also causes anxiety. It's a study tells like that. Their temperament, environment, and all the risk factors already are explained. So, and that scared parent and child version, different scoring is there. And by that scoring, we can differentiate in panic or phobia. All these things we should know. And ultimately, the management. I want to highlight mild depression, anxiety, we can treat in our clinic by counseling, but moderate to severe, maybe in the counseling, you can do motivational interviewing, REBT. REBT is excellent in this exam stress. And I'm not going to go into detail. So all the stakeholders, here this girl cannot be treated by alone by us. Teachers, parents, everybody has to be involved. And this only will help us to make her better. And one more thing, this as 10th standard it was there. Are you going to start the exam after the symptoms appear? Or do you want to start little early? How many months before? Can anybody tell?
It should be a preventive therapy, something like that.
Yes.
At
So
least 3
suppose that
months.
has happened,
Yes.
and the patient might have come to you only, and again they come, please give a preventive therapy almost 2-3 months before.
3
Don't
months.
go on treating it on the spot, and that may not help. So I felt that this anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, when to refer is a very important thing. And maybe mental health is very important. 35% of the depressed children have got a suicidal, they have done a suicidal attempt. And suicide itself, how many are doing? Every hour there is one child is committing suicide. And Southeast Asia, we are very much ahead. And in our country, it is a third cause of mortality. Globally, it is fifth cause. So we have to give attention to these things after ruling out the organic causes, simple anemia and hypothyroidism, and then go ahead with that, because mood swings are seen with anemia and hypothyroidism also. And she's an adolescent girl. So this is my take on all these things. There are many things to be explained. This case is very interesting and we get it very frequently. Mental health problems are to be not to be, because many pediatricians get little worried when there is a mental health problem. Mental health should be, how to analyze should be simplified, but we should know our own limitations, medical legal problems. The moment you feel that our counseling is not helping, don't go on stretching that. Please refer, as even repeated counseling, if it is not happening, even if it is a mild thing, please refer to the psychiatrist. Thank you for giving me opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. With this, we come close to our panel discussion, and I hand over to Dr. Angelica and Dr. Samir Shah.
Thank you very much. That was an excellent and insightful discussion on the common adolescent health issues we see in office practice. I would like to thank all the panelists, moderator Dr. Neema and Dr. Nishchal Bhai, Dr. Shilpa, Dr. Prashant, and Dr. Snehal for a wonderful engagement. Special mention to the experts for today, the dignitaries from IAPHA, Dr. Hemabindu Singh ma'am, Dr. Geeta ma'am, Dr. Sushma ma'am, for giving your valuable inputs. So it was a very helpful for, especially for someone like me who's not doing every day like a routine adolescent practice, but we do come across such type of cases in our normal pediatric practice. I would like to thank the office bearers of AOP Gujarat, Dr. Jagdish Khamar sir and Dr. Samir Shah sir, for conceptualizing and this whole expert webinar, expert connect webinar, which we are going to have every month. I would like to thank the dignitaries from IAP AHA as well as Gujarat AHA, Dr. Nishal Bhatt, chairperson, and all the EB members. Also, a word for all the delegates who are here right now, who are patiently listening to the discussion. I guess most of the questions have already been answered by the all the faculties. Still, if there are any queries, then you can please type.
I think there is a question. It is told that substance abuse, we are telling the comorbid condition, depression, anxiety is associated with substance abuse also. I think Dr. Santa has asked. So obviously substance abuse, but as we cannot cover everything, plenty of many comorbid conditions can be mentioned with depression and anxiety. And we have to remember, don't do only depression, anxiety treatment. Remember that certain comorbid conditions should be ruled out. That is the thing.
Actually,
there was one more question on the
PSQ with mental PSQM, which is a simple but very nice tool, which will help us identify multiple mental health issues with just one screening. We can identify if there is an anxiety, depression, substance use, and any other thing. So this is a very simple tool, PSQM.
That is a MKC sir has, Sushmaji, it is a teens, this questionnaire, MKC sir has made that things.
PSQ is for
questionnaire mental health.
Parental stress
It is
also.
mental, the version is TSQM. And
The
of course,
TSQM,
it is created and formatted by MKC sir.
Yes.
There was one question about the melatonin use in sleep disorders. Any role of melatonin?
I think I answered in chat about that. Full details about a melatonin. I mean, see, usually adolescents will be having some delayed phase in sleeping, but if there are some typical issues, like say, for example, a jet lag or a shift in work timings, or there is some insomnia due to ADHD and autism, in that case is only a low dose will be helpful. Not of the higher doses are required, but yes, that can be there. But most important is to look for if that adolescent is taking other medicines, that can be a problematic. If they are on antidepressants, then this melatonin will be a issue. So that must be checked.
In mental health disorder, there is a serotonin depletion. There is a deficiency of serotonin. So in that case, melatonin does not help induction of sleep. It can help maintenance phase, but it does not help in induction. So melatonin is not a drug of choice for sleep induction.
Right. So I guess we come to the end of the webinar. Very nice discussion. For the concluding remarks, I would like to welcome Dr. Samir Shah.
So, dear friends, it's really a great, excellent discussion, and it's my sincere congratulations to each and every faculty who involved in today's panel discussion. That you can keep an interest of at least till the more than 50 participants till the end. So it shows the how impactfully you discuss the different cases that will come in our day-to-day regular pediatric practice related to the adolescents, and that's really a great thing. And that is our main aim and objectives of the our discussion, that what we had created, that is expert a panel discussion of the every month, and that is that we will continue for the next 11 month also. So my sincere thanks to the each and everyone. My special thanks to the Central AHA chairperson, Dr. Hima Bindu madam, Dr. Geeta Patil madam, and Dr. Sushma Desai madam, to keep themselves free to become an expert of today's panel discussion and giving an excellent insight of concluding remarks that will be keeping in mind for the day-to-day practice. And my sincere thanks to the our faculty, of course, starting with the our AHA Gujarat chairperson Dr. Nischal Bhatt, along with the Dr. Prasant Karya, Dr. Silpa Tosniwal, and Dr. Snehal Sirolawala to become the panelists. And my special thanks to the Dr. Nima Sitapara for keeping this momentous task very easy for all of them to discuss in thorough manner. And we have at least come to an after 2 hours of this momentous panel discussion. Thanks a lot.
Thank
And
you
we will
so
meet
much.
again on the
Thank you, Dr. Sameesha.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
I would like to thank
of you.
Gujarat AHA for giving us the Central AHA an opportunity to launch its Wave 18. And thank you so much. Nice to see Prashant, Nishal, along with Snehal and Shilpa, Nima. Very well done. Can we just now, Sachetan he joined late and he is with us throughout the webinar. Samir, so he came a little late and we missed introducing him.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Dear
Sachetan.
madam, till
And
4 minutes
before
is
we
left.
conclude, let us thank Dr. Angelica for an excellent MO session.
Yes, yes.
Angelica and whole team of that webinar series, what
Too
we are
good,
planning.
Angelica.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Inspired by you all.
Yeah, Sachetan.
Sachetan, want to say a few
Today.
words? Maybe for the first time you've been exposed to this academic sessions of adolescent pediatricians here. So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
joined little late, so we couldn't, I was mentioning your name, the way you contributed to the road safety slides, and you have done excellent session today on road safety in your college. So what is your, your feelings about this AHA Youth Forum and few words?
I think it's in good hands, ma'am. I think everyone is running it smoothly.
Short and sweet. Thank you. And thank you once again to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you all, and good night, goodbye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night. And recording will be available on YouTube. So if anybody want to share that link, you can share to the anybody. And that will also available on our Central AHA website and AOP Gujarat website also. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Yogesh Bhai, for being with us till end.
Please join.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Please join our monthly webinar Friday on dermatology. Super specialty.
Samir, invite everyone for the adolescent national.
Yeah. I just going to say same thing.
Yes.
My sincere request to each and every participant till now they who are not registered for the adolescent con till the end of this month we having early bird registration. So my sincere request, please come to the Ahmedabad on 19th to 21st of this September to become the excellent part of that vibrant Silver Jubilee conference of the Central AHA. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Yogesh sir, I'm very surprised, sir. How could maybe we were so interesting that you stayed back?
Till end.
Gujarat.
So special thanks for our secretary, Dr. Yogesh Parikh sir, for remaining throughout with us and for giving his blessings.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Angelica. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Angelica,
everyone.
you were too good, huh? Too good. You were great. And Nima,
Gujarat is
you are
first time I'm
word
seeing.